Good evening, live from Germantown High School, back on GTV with Ron Gavinsky. I'm Ed Rowie. We're coming on at about 20 past the hour, and the JV game just ended. It was a fantastic game. I mean, we could have had that game all night. It was Germantown up 19, lost the lead with 20 seconds left, and then Germantown hits a three. So, you know, that's how it's supposed to be in JV life. So that's why we're coming on. We still have about 15, 20 minutes before our game starts. And our game, which is going to be, you know, two of the best. We know, we talked about this the other night. This is our Warhawks taking on and hosting Divine Savior Holy Angels. This is a team that's had a week to prepare for Germantown. What is that week? What does that extra, you know, not playing on a Tuesday night do in preparation of tonight's game?
Well, it helps the Dashers work on their game plan, gives coach a little more time. It rests their legs, which is huge at this time of the season. I just think this is a huge game for the Dashers, because if they win this game, them and Germantown are tied for second place in the conference, but the Dashers play BC on Tuesday.
Right. So they had that week to prepare for tonight, but it's also prepare for Tuesday as well.
Correct.
And we can't look forward to tonight's game and discuss tonight's game without looking back. And I talked to Coach Stuve before the game, and he and the entire team are in great spirits. You would think, oh, you lost this game. First of all, very few teams go undefeated. That's point one. Point two, you are not going to have a night where you shoot 6% from three. When you go 2 for 35, that doesn't happen. And it's called law of averages for a reason. That could easily flip tonight, and they could, instead of shooting that 6%, shoot 60% and run DS out of the building.
Which is very possible.
Which happened a year ago. You were sitting to my right during that game, and Germantown came out and put 100 up.
Yes, exactly. And you were there. And that could happen.
And it could happen.
It will.
But what we talked about it again. Coach Stuve and the team's in great spirits. But they have to have a little apprehension coming into tonight, or is it easy to let it go? What's that like?
Well, I would think that they're a veteran team. This isn't their first rodeo. I mean, they've the last 2 years they were 15-1 in the conference in both years. So it's just a hiccup for them. But the big thing I think they have to show up with is energy. And they did at certain times on Tuesday's game. And not to take any credit away from BC, BC shot the ball well and Germantown did not.
My whole point to Coach Stuve from an outsider's view was you were sitting in a boat and you jumped out of the boat and landed on land.
Right.
You couldn't hit water if you tried. And they were trying and trying and trying, and it wasn't happening. And yet with a minute left, they were still only down 5.
Correct. And you said it perfect when we talked off the air. Germantown had great shots. They just weren't hitting them. And the other
swag coming?
The other thing I say is in the last 4 years in this conference,
awesome.
The Germantown has won 51 conference games and 7 losses for an 88 percentage. And Divine Savior has won 47
awesome.
and
Thank
11
you.
for an 810. They are the two highest winning percentages in the conference the last 4 years.
All right, I was interrupting there. My apologies. Grace, come on over. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Now we got to talk to the camera operator. We're live right now, so you can do it and say whatever you want. It's all good.
She can handle it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you look, the camera's up there. Have you done this before?
Yeah.
With our cameras?
Yeah.
So it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
That goodie bag is yours as well. Please enjoy. You're going to be filled with sugar, so if you have to run, get it out of you can do that too.
Okay.
But enjoy it. If you have any questions, let us know.
Okay.
Otherwise, have fun with it. Thank you. All right. Sorry to interrupt.
Talk to you later, Lily.
So we had visitors. We go on early and we get visitors. When we don't go on early, we're sitting here all night long. Jalen's dad stopped over.
That was nice of him.
Absolutely. So he always ends up dropping off swag for us, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
So I apologize if I was talking over that. This is how we are. Tuesday night was an anomaly. It
Correct.
truly wasn't. If you're Germantown, you have to look at it that this is a 15-1 team instead of 15-0. Big deal. They still won 15 games in a row. That is something you can hang your hat on. Absolutely, you move on. It's Friday night. You're playing a team that you're one game up on in the standings, so you know they're going to come out with plenty of fire. That's what we anticipate tonight. That's point 2 of. So let's see. We've looked forward to tonight's game. We've looked back at Tuesday night's game. Part 3. And this is where the WIAA stepped up yesterday and they made all these decisions. And you have to understand where they're coming from. First of all, credit to them. I'm sure it wasn't easy. They had to move teams around. They shifted everything in the seed with the sectionals. Some political commentary, I guess, maybe before we even discuss where we're at and everything. Please, WIAA, separate these games. Don't have them all play at 7 o'clock at night. Give fans an opportunity to watch a game at 1:30, at 4, at 6, at 7, like you have in the past. If you can only do that on Saturdays for the regionals and sectional finals, then do that. But please don't have them all at the same time.
Agreed.
Because we are basketball fans, and we want to see games, and people want to see. You have them all lumped together, you lose out. Everybody loses out. Every one of us lose out on that. So please, WIAA, please spread those games out now. Let's talk about, oh golly, let's talk about what the decision was. Germantown ended up in sectional 2D, okay? Cedarburg, Germantown, Homestead, Falls, Nicolay. I think you look at it and you go, if you're Germantown, you feel pretty good.
You do.
You're feeling pretty good. Okay, so you come out. We're just going to assume they're going to come out of it. We're going to take this all the way to state.
Right.
We're going to look at this each section. In your subsectional 2C, if you come out of 2D, you're going to have to play the winner of Beaver Dam, Hartford, Slinger, and West Bend's East and West. I think, again, you're feeling pretty confident. I think so, right?
I agree.
Then you look up to the 2As and 2Bs. We'll start from 2B and work up to 2A. 2B is Fond du Lac, Manitowoc Lutheran, Oshkosh North, Oshkosh West, Sheboygan North, Sheboygan South. I think if Germantown were to be fortunate enough to play one of those teams, again, I think they'd be pretty confident.
Yes.
Now, the unfortunate part of this is 2A is Appleton East, Appleton West, Kaukauna, Kimberly, and Neenah. I'm going to just turn it over to you because, oh dear.
Well, in that sectional, in the sectional 2, you have Germantown, still the number 1 team in the state. You have Kimberly, the number 2 team in the state. Appleton East, the number 4 team in the state. Neenah, the number 10 team in the state in Division 1. And then you got Beaver Dam, who's number 3 in Division 2 and has won, I think, the last 2, maybe 3 Division 2 champions.
Now, you're saying Division 2. They have been, for the tournament, moved up to Division 1.
Correct.
That is the one big addition to this sectional 2. Beaver Dam is, as you just stated, an incredible program. So if Germantown were fortunate enough to play them, it's going to be a battle. We all know that. I think it would be 2 evenly matched teams. It would be a fun one to watch, and it would be a Saturday night, February 13th. And again, WIAA, please spread these games out. You want to play that one at 1:30? Great. Then play the Appleton games or whoever it is at 7. Do something to stagger these. Give these teams a chance to watch each other. We're basketball fans. We don't want a big clump. Please. Now, back to these teams. Oh, dear God. These teams.
They moved 26 29 Division II teams
to Division One to balance
Division
it all
I.
out.
To
And all 5 sectionals, it's 89, 90, 90, 90, 90.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, you got to do it, and it had to be done. It's unfortunate. If you didn't know about this, Division II actually had the most, and it goes by the enrollment of your school from the previous school year. Not this year, but the previous year, because everything's set in year in advance. So those 29 teams got bumped up based on their enrollment.
Right.
Nothing more. Not their record, not what they've done in the past, but strictly enrollment. And so they moved up and they shifted teams. There's an old saying, you got to beat good teams to win it all in the end. You know this as much as anybody else. You held that gold ball, and you had to go through some incredible teams to get to that point.
You're right, and it is incredible, and the feeling is so much better when you do that. I just look at that regional of 2A. What a killer!
It is. It is. Well, we're going to turn it over to the table. Starting lineups. We'll throw after the national anthem. We'll have the lineups. We have them on screen tonight, and we hope to give you a great game tonight. Enjoy it. You are watching GTV. All right, we had a restart. We had some audio issues. We're hoping it's fixed. We're hoping you're sticking around with us because we got ourselves a good one tonight ahead of the second half of the schedule. Germantown in their home whites. Good to be back home. Feels like we haven't been here in forever.
It has. The Dashers with the ball to start the game.
Top of the key three, Jarecki, off. Offensive rebound right out of the gate. It's Allison Tim. Tim, three, good. Full court pressure. KK breaks it on her own. Paul's kill, answer three, no good. Wisner, offensive rebound. Acker, three, no good. They push. Shot, no good. Offensive putback, good.
KDO.
Now KK down the lane, finishing. Now last time these two teams played, KK set a school record.
41.
So she's definitely not afraid nor intimidated. Of course, she really isn't anyway.
No.
Who are we kidding? 5-2 early on. DS, 3 on the way. DeStefanis, no good. Wisner boxing out, coming away with the rebound. Well, there's no secrets when these two teams play. They know each other. They know each other well. They play each other in summer.
Both teams like to run.
KK 3, got it. Back even.
Well, and speaking about KK's 41, that's the second highest score for a player in the state for
This
girls.
season.
This season.
Yeah. Tim, little dribble exchange. Paul's kill, good help side. Left him open left side, but Acker picks her up. Cut. They're going to let it go. Great no call. I really like that no call. Let him play.
I agree.
Kick it up ahead. KK lost it.
What do you mean, Coach? That's a round-the-back pass to Natalie.
Yeah, if only. She wanted to go to the corner 3. I think it was Emily in the corner.
Yes.
Grace Pulowski, our camera operator tonight. Thank you, Grace. JV team member for DSHA. 5-5 early on.
Nice
cut
Katie.
no good. No Pompu coming away with that one. Left side, Acker. Into the lane. Little flip, rolls off. Double team right in front of us. Capper gets it to Tim. Up ahead, numbers. Jarecki, no good. But yet another offensive rebound. KDO. Ball deflected, stays there.
KDO's a really good athlete.
Seems like a theme that DS has.
Well, both these teams have athletes.
Sure. Gonna have a tie up. It's gonna be Germantown ball. Great job by KK. They brought the, looked like it was Capper, correct? Capper brought it down to her waist. And KK pounced on it. Arnold double teamed. Get it to the middle, lazy pass, batted around, turnover. They had Paul's kill up the sideline coming to help, and they missed it. Now we have a travel, so they gave it right back. Going to see a lot of that, a lot of sloppiness.
You're going to see a lot of spurts in this game from both teams.
Sure. And that bounce pass.
Out of bounds. Ooh.
Wow, 5 early turnovers between the two teams as that pass hit the end line, thus out of bounds, and DS ball. Tim, no good. KK open court. Able to finish.
Great hustle by LD.
Not enough.
Correct.
It was hustle, great hustle. You love to see it, but not enough. KK in the open court is
pretty tough to stop.
It's pretty tough, yeah. 7-5 early.
The only person that stops KK in the open court
Turnover.
is
KK open court, lost it again. I think the ball might be square tonight. Drops it off, Paul's kill. She loses it. That ball is, I don't think they like this. I'd switch it off at halftime.
Well, they'll switch
Step
it off
through, no
before
good. Batted out of bounds. It's going to go Germantown's way. The way everybody's struggling with this ball.
Somebody needs to kick it out of the gym. Holmes coming
Mia
in
Jensen.
And Kennedy Holmes.
And Kennedy Holmes. I didn't see Kennedy. I was blocked by Coach Hendricks. As she checks in, the freshman. And Mia Jensen, the 5'10 senior.
Nice pass.
Wisner, bank shot open and good. That's too easy. You can't have it that simple.
Right.
There were hand directives there. That's what the right was. Jarecki, deep 3. Off the mark, and that's going to go out of bounds. That was from the Warhawk. Couple more subs as Gretchen McNeil and Leah Hess check in for Germantown. No surprise, each team going to their bench early. Another lazy pass from KK. Great job by McNeil. She stayed high hands and got the ball back. Hess, 12-footer. Got it. Al McGuire always said you got to get yourself into the flow both ways before you can get a shot up, but Leah doesn't know who Al McGuire is, so she let it fly. DeStefanis.
I don't think anybody on the floor would probably know who McGuire is.
No.
Other than the coaches and us and the parents.
And Hendu would,
Yeah.
but even he would be like, yeah, but not much. Because he retired when I was a kid.
Right. Yeah, but, you know, he went to Marquette.
Acker, shot fake. Corner pass. Paul's kill. Double up, 14-7. Great start if you're Germantown. Many are sluggish this year, but not tonight. Backdoor,
Nice.
Jensen. Going to get fouled.
Acker.
Acker did everything right, and then in the last minute, she just couldn't hold back, and she reached down for the ball and committed the foul. Mia Jensen to the line.
Oh.
Where is she?
Jensen is 44%.
Well, it just got better because she hit the first one.
Sorry about that, Coach.
No, you're good. I usually have that up, and I couldn't find it. I had to switch screens.
We'll share.
Carrying the load again. Just the man.
Curry coming in the game.
But they brought her back. She kind of ran right to the scores table and just kept on keeping on, and they brought her back. And this crew will do that. This crew is an outstanding crew. Many state games between them. If I believe, don't quote. We never get that number. It's just off memory. But you and I have both seen them many a years. Wisner 3, no good, and out of bounds. 12:59, 12:47. My apologies. I'm looking at the screen. The delayed feed. Let's get a sponsor up there, GridX. We'll throw that up there for now. Little one-on-one game and a strong finish for Emily Capper.
She's starting to play really well in the second half.
Much more
of the
aggressive
season.
on her offense. Gretchen McNeil 3, no good. Going up and getting it is KK. She misses the putback. And Capper rips down, and I mean rips down the rebound. Shot fake to the hoop. Jensen overshot it. Ball batted around, ends up in Hess's hands.
But the Dashers
And the jump ball.
The Dasher Knights came after them. The Nats, the Dasher Nats. We got Nats on both teams, Coach.
Acker in, Arnold out. Tim, cross screen, partially blocked. No, that's a full complete. Get it out of here from Gretchen McNeil. Little two-man game out top, Wisner and Acker. Acker 3, good. Man, that's got to feel good for Jay.
Yes, it does.
Ball kicked around, off the foot, and out of bounds. This might be the longest we've gone without a timeout in ages.
You got Jones and Paul's kill. Sorry about that.
Man, what happened there?
Mike Cuttier's coming out of.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You do have the Polish last name.
I do.
KK and Acker, two-man game again. KK 3, no good.
A zone by.
Batted around, ends up in the hands of Paulskill, who puts it back up and finishes. So they're daring them to shoot the threes, but again, it was something we talked about the other night. The longer the shot, the longer the rebounds. When you get a sea of hands together like that, it's going to get batted around at times, and that time it ended up in Nat's hands. Kennedy Holmes to the hoop. Ooh, that was dangerously close. Could have gone either way. Thought Pompu had some good position. But instead it's going to be a foul on Katie, and Kennedy's going to shoot a couple. Kennedy, who's had some big games already in her career, 18 for a career high. And she did that last time these two teams played. Free throw is short. So her 58% is going to go down a touch.
Yep.
Second one good. So she gets 1 out of 2. Point for that possession. That's all you ask for as a coach. You get anywhere between 80 and 100 possessions a game. Acker catch and shoot. No good. Batted around.
Ooh,
Good job.
Good release by Tim.
Curry.
Nice pass.
Holmes looking for the three-point play, unable to finish it.
KK.
Claire did a real nice job. Claire Curry coming down with the rebound and tiptoeing on the sideline right in front of the referee, and he had his eyes right on the play. And she did not step out of bounds. Free throw is good. Jarecki back. Second one from the Achu in the crowd.
That's what I was
That's why I
checking
stayed
about.
quiet. I wanted to hear it again. Wizkid got the rebound, but
Underlaid by KK.
yeah, Ashley Jones rebound. She had a wide open shot too. Jarecki, no good. Batted around, same team. Curry puts it back up. Got to know where your teammates are there. Pitch it up ahead. Instead, we're going to get a timeout on the floor, I believe.
Matt.
Coach Stuve is going to take it. We'll take it with him. You're watching GTV.
Full, it looks.
If you don't know W7, you don't know Germantown girls basketball.
I'm Emily Wisner.
And I'm Natalie McNeil. And W7 is for the girls.
Today, it'll be tomorrow.
Back live. 10.5 left first half. 19-14. Germantown in front. Corner three. Pompu. No good. Paul's kill. Gets around everybody. Comes up with the ball. Second chance opportunity. KK finishes. KK gets the 2 points, but that was Paul's kill. Now she gets a steal. Up ahead. Arnold. No good. Kennedy Holmes rebound. DS the other way. 3. Jones. Got it. Boy, that was up there a long time.
Her shot gets up in the air all the time.
Came straight down. Net barely moved. 21-17.
She's trying to bring the snow, Coach.
Surprise, no timeout taken there. Just a lazy pass. That's about the third one already from Germantown. You can't do that in these games. Curry 3, and just like that, it's a 1-point game.
Well, and if you remember in the BC game, it was that lazy pass to the middle that BC took. I can remember it. That kind of changed the momentum a little.
KK down the lane, drop pass. And now we're going to get a foul. Claire Curry, her first, team second. And we got a few more subs at the table. 13 and 20, that's DeStephanis and O'Laughlin. So a couple of starters back in, Jensen and Holmes to the bench.
LD and KDO, as they're known with the Dash family.
Quick pass, back corner. KK catch, shoot, release, good.
She does that, she's tough.
Yep, good, nice, smooth release. And the shot just looks a lot better than it was a year ago, and that's what maturity does. 24-20, 9 minutes left first half. Quick give and go to Stephanis, caught underneath. And they're going to get a travel. It was a delayed call, but it's the right call.
In the conference, Arnold is number 7 and made threes. Kind of surprises me.
Nah, she's shooting quite a few this year.
And she's hitting a lot more.
And she's hitting many more, that's right.
Jarecki leads the conference in made threes.
Well, she's letting them fly tonight. Hasn't hit one yet.
Right.
But she will. Well, we anticipate. Good patience, Germantown, with their starting 5 on the floor. Acker, 3, no good. Bounces around. Had to make sure that, but she gets the offensive rebound. Out to Paul's kill. 3, no good. KK offensive rebound. Left hand putback. She's going to shoot free throws.
Looks like it's on Jarecki.
Second chance points.
No.
That's been more and more of a theme for our games lately.
KDO with the foul.
Paige Robinson set to check back in, or
just,
check in for her first minutes of the night.
I was just thinking about that.
Back iron, rolls around and down. KK gets the first one.
KK's the leader in the conference for the most made free throws.
And attempts.
And attempts. No, she's second in attempts.
Is it
the girl
back
from Hale?
Oh yeah, astounding. They get to the line so much.
Yes.
Back iron, second one, Capper rebound. Into the lane to Stephanus, left hand, no good. Batted around. No, it wasn't. It was ripped down. Gretchen McNeil. KK open court. Finishing. Coach Hendricks wanted to travel. Might have had a little lazy drag of a foot, but it was pretty tough to call that. Trying that give and go again. Great defense all around from Germantown and KK in the open court. Up ahead, Acker, inside. Paul's kill, kick out, rotate. Ooh, Acker passes up the 3. And they keep him in. She traveled that time. Got to remember to put it down. Jay's got to remember to shoot that 3.
Agreed.
Timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout. DS will take it with them. You're watching GTV, a W7 production. Back live on GTV. We'll see what Coach Hendricks drew up on that timeout. Don't forget, tomorrow night we're right back here.
Another big game.
No, New Berlin Eisenhower's coming to town.
Rated number 2 in Division 2.
Man, fun games. Coach Stuve doing it right. 3 on the way, no good. Batted around. Let's see what the call is.
Over the back.
That's not a call. You know that, and I know that. It's called a push. Come on now.
That's true. I'm just aging myself here.
You do really well. You just, was that playground, driveway, street, wherever you play?
Yeah.
That's what they call it. That's what the kids call it.
Climb my back.
Back into the game, Kennedy Holmes. So Coach Hendricks looking for some offense. That time they got her. They closed that little window. And
Jensen in the
KK
game.
tried to split it and got bounced around. A little surprised there wasn't a call. I think if she goes flying and just kind of flips it up, they might have gotten a call. But she's so strong, she was able to maintain her balance a little bit.
And she got hit.
Yeah, it should have been a foul call.
Yep.
But you know what? She gets the rolls more often than not.
And it's
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's easier for us to see than the officials. At some time.
And an offensive call, I believe. Great job, Gretchen.
Kennedy.
You don't see that call too often. She just went high hands and stayed in position, ran right into her. Great call.
Yep, it's her second.
So the same referee that made the call on the travel calls that. So I don't believe it was a makeup call by any means. I thought it was a fantastic call. Good ball movement.
The Dashers are in a zone, in a box. Oh no, they're in a zone.
Robinson, she hurried that one. To Stephanus, open court. Loses it. KK was sneaking in behind her. She took it away.
Paige is 12th, in the conference, 12th in made threes. 32nd
She
on
still
attempts.
hasn't. Yeah, she still hasn't slowed down yet. She hasn't. That was a real good example of she's got to understand the speed of the game. She doesn't have to quick rush it and get it up. Set your get your feet set. I'll get it out. I will eventually.
We're having
Set
trouble.
your feet. There she goes. Much better this time. Back iron, but it was a much better look. Second chance opportunities. Ball batted around. Ends up in Tim's hands. Holmes to the hoop and finishing. So DS needed that one. Hadn't scored in about 3 minutes. Leads down to 5.
Still in his zone.
Still basically 5 out, and there's the flash. Gretchen. Acker, no. DeStephanis again rebounding.
Pass ahead to Jensen.
Nope. They're going to say it's on the floor. Gretchen tried to draw another one. They said, nah, not this time.
Page with the foul.
And I think that was the difference, was they went to the shoulder versus through the chest.
Right.
And there's the call. So, oh, they gave it to Paige, and that's why it wasn't on Gretchen. They gave it to Paige. So she must have reached in off the ball, watching it on delay, and that's what she did. 5:20 left, first half. Backdoor, Holmes. Got it. So they're taking advantage of Germantown's aggressiveness. A little pass fake and backdoor. They've done it a few times. McNeil, shot fake. Has it ripped out of her hands, but it's going to stay here. Wisner back in. McNeil out.
refs are having
They know
a good
what,
game.
yeah, they want to get involved. Coming back corner, nope.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, this isn't
Nobody anticipated that pass,
Nice
including
pass.
Paul's kill, and they're going to get Holmes on a double dribble. Germantown catches a break. That's not – Paul's kill flashed on that, but that's not usually where you go to the ball, with the ball. Usually come back corner, and they did not anticipate that pass, and it was right off the face.
Right.
KK baseline, drop pass. Boy. And a tie-up, and it's going to go DS. 11 now, first half turn. Oh, they're going to say, no, that. Do we have a tie-up somewhere or other?
Yeah.
Okay. Germantown ball then. Paul's kill. Wisner driving. Left hand.
That's a pat move for her.
Off. Tim rips it down. Pushes left side. And they're going to get Pompu with the hold. Only the 15 foul, so 4:29 left. He's still got one more to play with before we shoot some free throws. But that's Pompu's second.
Yep.
See what Coach Stuve does. Looks like he's going to let it go.
Well, as he's told us, he plays it by feel.
Tim, spin, finish, 27-26. Lead down to 1. Germantown in the stretch of not scoring. KK drive, kick.
The zone is affecting Germantown a little.
Pass fake. Arnold into the lane.
Nice
No
block.
good. Mia Jensen rips it down. DS with a chance to take the lead. DeStephanis, left hand high off the glass. Not there. Pompu rebound. Pitch it ahead. Paul's kill. Bank. She anticipated contact. Wasn't there. Well. Oh, good no call. I like it.
Yep.
Let the players play. Let them determine everything. Holmes, 3. Rolls around. Out. Call out of bounds. Going to be Germantown ball. So 2 chances for DS to take the lead. Unable to do so. Timeout on the floor.
Full
timeout. We're going to take it with them. You are watching GTV, a W7 production.
GTV on W7 is your home for Germantown High School girls athletics, golf, volleyball, basketball, softball. It's all on W7.
You got it, dude.
coming out of the timeout. Germantown up 27-26. Lead's been as big as 7. Might have even gotten up, it might have been 23-14, so it might have been 9.
Yeah.
Only the one tie at 5 apiece. So it's been pretty much Germantown, but they haven't scored. And coming up on 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
And coming out of this timeout.
And they've had some decent shots. They're just not hitting them.
They've made 4 threes. That's doubled up from the other night. Acker into the lane. Looked like she got fouled, and she did. So she's going to go to the line and shoot a couple. It's been a mystery for Jay this year when it comes to the line, but it has been better, much better.
Yes.
I mean, everybody goes through it, including the professionals. Back iron on that one.
She's shooting 48%, but at the beginning of the year, she was in the 20s or 30s.
Second one is good. So she gets 1 out of 2 and increases the lead to 2. 28-26. And you know it's going to be another close game when you're playing in the 20s and 30s per half.
Right.
Tim's 3 is off. Arnold rebound. Pushing it ahead. Hess, left side, nothing there. Gets it back. Had Acker on the cut, and they missed her. Now she's short corner. They get it to the top of the key. KK down the lane.
Ooh,
missed it, but Paul's kill. Bats it out. Ends up in Holmes' hands. 3 on the way. No good. Holmes bats it out of. Ooh, that should have been a foul on Paul's kill, and they let it go. She jumped on the back of Kennedy Holmes, and they let that go, and that's
not good.
Yeah, you don't like to see that. I know she's just going for the ball, and she means no malicious intent by any means, but you never want to jump on a player on their back. I mean, diving for a ball like that.
And I thought they changed that rule that if you
I
dive
did too.
in,
Yeah.
it's an
3,
automatic
Jarecki.
foul.
No good. Put back, off, batted out by Akron. It's going to stay here. So 4 chances now for DS to take the lead or tie. 3 in this possession alone. So there's actually 5 opportunities to take the lead or tie.
Jarecki's shooting 30% in the
Turnover.
conference for threes.
Acker read that beautifully. Keeps it. Spin, kick out, Hess. Not there. Doubled it, and they're going to have a tie-up.
The whiz kid was sitting at the top of the key all by herself.
Great job by Diaz. And these are 2 teams, again, they mirror each other. These are 2 very similar teams. And Leah's got to know you pick up that dribble like that. The Nats are coming.
Yeah.
Pompu in, Hess out. And I'm going to guess that's the message. There's that pass out tie. Paul's kill. She's going to shoot the 3. Got it.
It's Natalie's second.
And the 5th of the night for Germantown. Tim, the answer? No. And they're going to call Acker for the bump underneath, boxing out. It's hard to argue that call, as I believe
It's her second.
KDO went up for the rebound just as Jay put her body on her, and she bumped her, and she went flying.
Right, because I see it on this side. I was
Yeah,
saying,
sure.
I saw a couple people undercut on the shot.
So,
But, ooh,
oh, it traveled. Great defense. Natalie Paul's kill and Emily Wisner. Team defense personified there. Paul's kill slid over to help. Wisner was right there. She couldn't get through. Took those steps. Coach Hendricks is saying, you got to call that on KK. I promise you that was his message.
oh, I'm sure he's been
KK
working
floater,
the officials.
no good. Holmes comes away with it. She can't find the handle, though, and they're going to get KK with the foul.
Her second. I tell you, the zone is slowing Germantown down.
Well,
on
it slows
offense.
both teams down.
Correct.
And Germantown, they're attacking the seams, but it's been floaters. It hasn't been that bank shot. It hasn't been attack and get it off the glass, find that glass. It's tough to shoot full steam going to the hoop.
Correct. And a bunch of bodies in front of you.
Right. Holmes' bonus free throw. She hits the first one, earned that second one. 97 seconds left in this first half. Hasn't been the prettiest, but it's been very hard fought both ways, and that's what you get. More boxing-ish when you get that slugfest back and forth like that.
She made the second one.
Yes, she did. And it's down to 3.
Well, this, as we were saying before the game started, this is a big game.
Both teams, especially DS.
Right.
Well, actually either, because you get to 2 losses, and then you need help
Right.
for the conference. Wisner corner. And DS already has 2 losses. They cannot have a 3rd loss. Holmes rebound, keeps it to the hoop. Fouled from behind, so she's going to go right back to the line.
And the conference is top-heavy this year.
Which, if you were with us pregame Tuesday night,
Right.
Steve Teets, thank you so much for joining us. She mentioned that. He mentioned that, and those were his exact words. These 3 teams, Brook East right there, a very fine team, but against these 3 teams, other than Brook Central, they've struggled. First one good.
Right.
But what we've talked about in that, with that team, and what we talked about Wednesday night, Gary and I, that is going to be a dangerous team, and they're going to have a say in who wins the conference, probably.
Correct. And they could have a say in the regional.
Sure, and that is because the talent is there. In the future, look out.
Right. Yeah.
As we approach a minute, the lead is down to 1. KK to the hoop. Good angle, good backboard use, and she gets it to fall. 3-point lead, under a minute. If you're DS, you're happy with where you're at right now, but you sure like to tie it or be closer, obviously. Tim, unorthodox, able to finish.
She's definitely not playing like a freshman today.
Well, neither is Kennedy.
No.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
And they don't. They haven't from first game on. See what Germantown does as we approach the 32nd mark of the first half. Staying outside, batted around. Ends up in KK's hands after Paulskill had it. Acker, 3. No good. Tim rebounds.
18
DS,
seconds.
they'll play. They're not going to play for 1. You play for the best shot.
Correct.
And now they're saying for 1. See what happens. Looks like high ball screen for Jarecki. She gets it, kicks it out. Mia Jensen, 3, rolls around, no good. KK comes away
2.
with it. And she's just going to eat it. She didn't want to let it fly. Entertaining first half of slugfest. Our score from Germantown High School, your Warhawks 33, the Dashers 32. It's halftime in Germantown. You're watching GTV.
Here's Emily LaChapelle. She is going to play her to watch on this team. Baseline drive, kick out. Open look, 3, got it. LaChapelle on the breakaway. (32-32).
50, 50, up, yep, and 1.
Got it. And the foul.
The parent-child relationship versus the coach-player relationship. How do you guys balance that? And how do you delineate that? When it's time to be a dad, it's time to be a coach. I mean, that's sometimes those lines get a little blurry. How does that work for you guys?
Yeah, well, it definitely gets blurry. I think, I can credit my wife on this one. When the kids were young, and I was probably too much dad, during coaching, and she was a quick reminder about how to treat a kid when, your own kid when they're playing for you. And ever since that day, I think I've taken a decent perspective on that balance, and I think it works out pretty well. We're not the family that makes the miserable car ride home. The game, between the lines we're battling. We get home, it's mom's time, and we're gonna have dinner, we're gonna talk, and we're gonna be a family. So.
I agree with pretty much what he said. I feel like we have a really good balance of kind of that coach-player relationship, but then at home it's like not any different. And let's say, for example, like there's a rough practice, like we have a really good separation between what happens on the court and what happens in the house. So, and I feel like over the years we've just continually gotten better at that and not let that affect our relationship one way or the other.
What do you take away from this process as as she's a junior now, obviously, when you look back in 10 years, I mean, what comes out of it for you?
That the kids can say, hey, we competed at the highest level, we can busted our tails. Coach didn't have to, make us do crazy punishments during practice, because we understood that we just owe it to each other to work hard, make each other better. And, those are the lessons, I guess, that I hope we all get out of this in 10 years, I suppose.
I really respect that you recognize the girls have to have fun, that they have to not just play basketball and be focused only on that. I mean, you guys, I've seen you do TikTok videos, I've seen you do things like that, with the kids. Emily, what does that do for you guys, for you and for your teammates? I mean, you're an all-state player, and so some people think, well, she's just focused on playing the game. She doesn't want any of that, any of that nonsense going on. But I would argue, I think you enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And just the fact that we can, like you said, compete at the highest level, but also know that, like, it's just a journey that we get to go through together, like battle every day in practice and then go in the games and just like put forth all our effort that we work together to do, and just like have fun while doing it. And the way that they incorporate those kind of things into it is just super cool and special.
That junior class I've coached since third grade. The two seniors I've coached, because they're right along with that junior group. And Sammy, who's a sophomore this year, played up with our current juniors. So this group I've been with for a really long time, and we've been through a lot. And when it's all done and said and done, we have all these stories. It's going to be like one of those really cool experiences and unique situations that people have had through basketball. But we've gotten to support and love and cry and hug. And
Emily, I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about the recruiting process, what that's been like for you. I mean, certainly you've got multiple Division I offers across the country. How overwhelming is the process, first of all, and the amount of communication and mail and email and text and all that stuff that you get? I can't even imagine how much stuff you see in a given week.
Yeah, the one thing that I always keep in mind is it's my own process. So you can control what you want to control and just really make it your own. But I have a ton of support at home. Like, my parents support me a ton. My older sister and younger brother, they're always right there by me. So they make it pretty easy. If I ever get overwhelmed, they're right there, pull me back in. So it's been really good, enjoyable. We have fun with it. Just the relationships that you're able to build through it is super awesome. Just getting to know different people's stories and all that.
Right.
It's been really good.
And I think
go ahead.
That goes with that. The one thing that goes with that is that the coaches are really respectful of that. These are kids and they have other things going on. So they're constantly like, hey, what does your schedule look like? Is it cool if we call?
Nice.
What's the window you want us to call in? And we won't bother you. We want to talk to you. However, we don't want to overwhelm you. So I think, in that regard, like they're pretty good about that. And that's been a really cool part of the process, I guess.
As you kind of go through that process, Emily, I mean, what are the things that you look for? Like, these are like my top three things. I want this, and this, if I could find it.
Yeah, well, first of all, for me, it's all about relationships, like who I'm most comfortable with, who my parents are most comfortable with too, because like their family kind of becomes our family too. So that's really important to me. And then obviously academics, my parents can back this up too. Education, that's super important. Pretty close to number one. Those kind of go hand in hand. the ball's going to stop bouncing. You're going to lace your shoes up and put them away for the last time. So that education part is really important. And then just like how you want to compete, like what conference you want to play and all that good stuff. Like that's a huge factor. Just kind of the secondary stuff like style of play, things like that.
So Wausau West runs this action, I think they call it a kick-knock action or something. So because the ball goes tick-tock. Okay, so he's coming, the screener comes. Even the sun sets in paradise. I'm at a place for chain I spell on you.
Up that. We are back live from Germantown High School. Hope you're enjoying your Friday night with us. 33-32 our score. Germantown up 1. They've had the lead since the score was 5-5. But it's been as big as 9, down to 1. Inconsistencies on both sides, but this is going to be a night of runs and nothing but. Coach G, give me your thoughts on that first half, starting with DS.
Big thing I said to you right away was Jarecki, who's number 4 in scoring in a conference, hasn't scored a point. So if I'm Coach Hendricks, I look at my team and say, or, you know, in my head I'm saying my best offensive player hasn't scored yet. She's going to score something.
You would think?
You would think, yeah, exactly. And I think their matchup zone has caused some issues for Germantown.
Right. And on the other side, Germantown?
Germantown isn't making shots again. They've hit 5 threes, I think.
Yep.
And, again, they've got good looks. The seams to get through the gaps, DS has closed those down. So it's going to come down to making shots. As a great person once told me, anybody can shoot, but making shots is what counts. And it does. And you have 2 heavyweights that it's going to come down to who makes the shots and who non-star is going to step up this half.
Right. It always comes back to the role player that you don't expect to do something. They always seem to find a way to have a big impact in big games. The other side of it, as you spoke of, if you're Germantown, you know, you're in a funk shooting-wise, but you have made the 5 threes. The percentage is in there, but you got to keep shooting them. If you get the open look, you got to shoot it. We've seen Jalen Acker pass up threes. We've seen Paul Skill pass up threes. You got to shoot them. If you're a shooter, as you say you are, and you are, let's be honest, they are, you got to shoot them, and you're going to miss, but you're going to shoot yourself out of it as well. And just stay in the flow of the game. As long as it's in the flow of the offense, they'll start to fall. And again, longer shots, longer rebounds, more opportunities, especially the way you crash the board so well on offense.
Well, exactly. And you have to shoot. As long as you're not forcing shots, if they're good open shots, shoot. So it should be an interesting half. As we've said, the first 4 minutes could be big, but both these teams can hit you with quick spurts.
Cutting Tim backdoor. Carrington has a rip. Pompu. Jarecki had the rebound, and Pompu stripped it from her. We'll call that a shot because that looked more like a block. Each team with 11 first-half turnovers. Shot off the mark, right on cue.
KDO.
But Acker comes away with it, bats it out. 3, Pompu. I saw the same view you did, but it was off the mark.
Good.
Yeah, can't argue it.
Jarecki with a 3.
No good. It's going to go out of bounds. And it should be Germantown ball, and it is.
And that's what we're talking about. That was a good shot that just didn't drop for her. You know.
Both teams have taken, and this is what happens. This is the time of the year where your legs start to go. It's not around Christmas. You still got that, you get that break, and you have those, you get that downtime. Good pass inside and finish. Wisner from KK. This is the time of the year the legs start to go, and Germantown's been playing these tough teams week after week, and they got to go again tomorrow night.
Right.
And then they got to play 3 more next week. Jarecki, 3, rolls around and out. So you can see she's thinking about it a little bit. And let's not forget, these are teenage girls. Wisner, offensive putback. They are human beings that have been busting their humps since November. They start to think about things other than, you know, and when you start missing shots, it's like, wait a minute, why aren't these going in? They were earlier. It just happens.
And a lot of people don't realize basketball is a long season.
Careful, great hustle.
Nice job, Tim.
Allie Tim ended up in the bench. Oh, I got scolded. Carrie Newcomer on it again.
What do you say?
Thank you, Carrie. She reminded me about her scoreboard. I almost forgot it again.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I turned it off for halftime, and then Acker, a little underhand shovel. She gets fouled. She's going to shoot 2. Jay in the first half had 4 points.
LD's second.
So Lauren DeStephanis picking up that foul, her second, as Coach G said. Acker free throw, good. Kennedy Holmes back. Jarecki out. And I think this is more of a mental break than anything because you're only 2.5, just over 2 minutes into the second half. Second one good.
Nice to see that for Jalen.
If you heard that, KK's mom
That's
screaming
exactly.
at the defense, let's get some D. 15:45 left. Headed towards a great finish. Great defense. Katie Pompu ends up in Wisner's hands. She crosses the timeline. Out to KK. Looked like she had a little running start there.
And she got him for traveling.
Yeah, I think she had the little running start before she made that pass. That I was going to say was a bad call. If you're going to call this, I think the travel, I think it was a little late. It might have been a case of pulling the mask, but I think now these referees have the mask over the whistle.
Right.
Sometimes they're chewing on it, but those were Roadrunner legs there. Mia Jensen back on the floor. Tim spins, splits the defenders. No good. Pompu rebound.
Almost
Sorry,
a steal.
Paul's kill rebound. KK, little pull-up, knockdown. Coach Hendricks wants a timeout. He's going to take a big one. The lead back to 9, the biggest of the night. Warhawks up. We're going to take it with them. Germantown up 9. You're watching GTV. Back live on GTV. The lead's up to 9, the biggest of the night. And as we went to break, right in front of us, you said Tim looks a little tired. She's huffing and puffing. I think that was just that burst because she's still out there.
Yep.
But again, it's that time of year, that mid-January lull, and you got to remember the students, and they got to think about midterms and finals. And a foul, and Ashley Tim tired my butt, Coach G.
Exactly. She heard me.
You got to just, I'm slacking here. I had first half still on the scoreboard. At least I didn't get scolded about that.
You will now.
Yeah, well, they should have been. I'm scolding them. 3-point play is good. Coming out of timeout, you couldn't ask for anything more if you're DS.
That was big.
Still only 3 minutes into this half. Had a lot happening already. KK down the lane, foul, and it goes. KK 17 first half points. Those are her first 2 of the second half.
I think
Nope.
it's on LD.
My apologies. She's had 4
is.
second half points.
Yeah, she has.
She had that little pull-up jumper before.
LD's third.
And the free throw is good. Germantown answers the old school way of three-point play. Pass. The whole Germantown team was swarming that middle pass, and it ended up being in Acker's hands. Paulskill wide open 3. No good.
Capper.
Cap comes away with it. She's tied up. Get that back. You could hear the slap down here, Acker. She just turned around like and walking like, yeah, I've done this before.
Directly in for LD right now.
So
McNeil.
And now countering is, Gretchen.
That makes sense. Oh, and
For
Hess,
Katie Pompu.
And Leah Hess is in the game for KK.
Well, KK only sat about 30 seconds, maybe.
That doesn't surprise
in the
me.
first. Not even sure if it was that much.
Well, and she played. I don't know how much of time she missed. She didn't sit long.
Yeah,
on
she doesn't like to
Tuesday.
sit.
No.
Of course, who does? Ball batted around and right on cue. Look at that. Leah Hess steal.
Ooh.
And a turnover.
Again. I'm going to say this, Coach, and I'm just thinking that at this time of the year, this is going to benefit Germantown because of Matt using his depth a lot more than other teams.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Kennedy, pull up, 15-footer, no good. Paulskill.
Rebound and a turnover by her.
Well, I like the rebound part.
Oh, yeah.
Tim. Ooh, it looked like she was fouled, ended up in Gretchen McNeil's hands. And then she nearly turned it over, but
timeout.
Because of that
30.
sloppiness, nice timeout by Coach Stuve. You know what? We're going to take it with him.
Excellent.
You're watching GTV. Number 11, if you're looking, if that looks like Natalie McNeil, it should. That's her younger sister. She has the same jumper as Natalie. I mean, that is a spitting image. Back live on GTV. Those 30-second timeouts are only about 15. But we got a little break. See what Germantown has coming out of the timeout. Little skip pass to Acker. Great defense by DS.
They're playing an amoeba, a 1-1-3. That's why they're taking care of gaps. It's hard to get by.
There's
3.
that drive, kick, Acker, got it! The River Dance.
Her second 3 of the game. Biggest lead, Coach.
Acker, open court. Ooh, off balance there, but she gets the offensive rebound after it was batted around. Back to Acker. She's going to let it fly again.
No.
Off.
Curry with the rebound.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
To Holmes. Ooh. Offensive. Don't like that call, but
her third.
That was a good acting job.
Yep.
Emily Wisner.
They might have an acting class at Germantown.
Well, the Wiz kid just got an A in that. The lead's the biggest of the night. It's 12.
LD sprinting to the scorer's table.
Paulskill. Inside out, Acker. Steps through, gets it. Swatted.
Jensen.
Mia Jensen. Deflection, Natalie Paulskill. We say that about 2 or 3 times a game.
Yeah, she amazes me. I mean, she could get the rebound and be the first girl sprinting down the court.
Acker gets a break. Maddie Montgomery, her first time on the floor.
Page is in the game too.
Page as well. Good catch. So that looks like Whiz Kid is down. Jones. Jensen, Jones, LD. 12 minutes now left. The lead is 12. If you're DS, you're just looking for that point a minute and get it back. But it starts with good possession, and right now it's a good defensive possession. Germantown, some fresh legs. Looking inside, ball batted around. McNeil says, I'll take that, thank you very much.
Way to get on the floor.
Absolutely, KK. Right, left, dribble to the hoop, fouled by Jensen. And it's starting to slip away from the Dashers.
Should be Mia's first. Well, and this is what Germantown typically does to teams.
Yep, this is more a Germantown, regardless of who the opponent is. You might be able to stick around early on, but we're just going to wear you down. We've got the depth. We've got the horses they just keep coming at you. Even when those horses come out, those are some strong ponies coming in
And even
when they go to the stable.
Even in their loss to Brook Central, they cut it to 3, and you could feel that the momentum was swinging.
Sure. Acker back, Arnold off.
And I think CJ hit a big shot at that
right,
time.
And exactly, and then it went from 3 to 6, and that was it.
Yep.
That was it, and that was just over a minute left. I think they got it to 5 with under a minute, but they couldn't hit. They couldn't shoot. Plain and simple. They know that.
Correct.
And you got to just let it go. It's just one of those nights, and the averages are coming back, and that's what.
Nice block out.
Great job, Paige Robinson. And that's what Jarecki's got to realize right now. She's not having one of her better nights. And Alexa's just going to go home and say, you know what, it happens. 3, Pompu, no good. Paige Robinson rebound. Montgomery, right side. Skip pass right in the hands of Jarecki. Whoops. Maddie saw something nobody else did except the Jarecki, and she took it.
The Nats are flying again now.
Double team corner. Good pass.
Nice flash.
Jarecki, you're going to get a foul. Yep. And this, if you're not going to get a layup, you want free throws. So Alexa's going to get a chance to get that goose egg off the board. Again, she came into the night 4th leading scorer in the conference, averaging 15-9, I believe.
16 for the season. In the conference.
Well, is that 15-9 or is that my imagination?
It's 15-9. She just missed the free throw.
She did miss the free throw. If I don't give you grief, I don't give you much else.
And she's a 48% free throw shooter.
That's the one thing I would say about, in general, speaking in general, is free throw shooting is down this year.
Yes.
And you know what? She misses both, and 3 players went for that ball and ended up in Acker's hands. How much of that is actually COVID? You couldn't. You shoot a lot of free throws in the springtime, and they didn't have those opportunities. Maybe I'm making an excuse, but I think that's a realistic. Get it out of here. I think it's real.
Right.
Great block shot, Claire Curry.
I don't think that's an excuse. I think
Jarecki deep 3, catch and shoot. Supergirl.
Ooh.
Paging Supergirl. Gary right now is excited. Paging Supergirl.
KK almost got that out.
The referee
there
says,
you
get
go.
it out of here.
I don't need a ball. Nice job. The ref said, don't worry, I got it. I'll be the Super Ball.
Thank you. That is Gary's favorite thing in the world, I think, is paging Supergirl, Anna Mortag from Brookfield Central. I don't know why, but he insists that I do. That's what he got mad at me. Acker 3, got it.
Could see
the
that.
River Dance is feeling it.
It's her 3rd of the game.
And you can see she is back to being Jalen Acker. 999 right now for the world. And those that know, no. Skip pass. Nearly taken away by KK. Yeah, Arnold doesn't need a break. Because she right there just covered about 15 feet and one giant leap to get a deflection. 17-point lead. And a turnover. Arnold out ahead. Paulskill, great stop and finish and timeout. And all the mo and the lead is Germantown right now. And we're going to take this timeout with them. You're watching GTV.
So 9 and 3 is 12.
There we go. Back live on GTV. Let's throw up the graphic. Jalen Acker with that last three has officially hit the 1,000 point mark
In her high school career.
in her high school career. And give you an idea how tough that is. This is a 4-year varsity player. Do not overlook the difficulty in this. Congrats to Jalen.
That's 250 points a year. That's a lot of points. I mean, there's kids that don't.
Whoop. Let's get that back up there. I'm pushing. They let me push buttons again. They shouldn't do that. Congrats to Jay. And now you're just adding them up.
Yep.
Near turnover.
And if I'm not mistaken, McNeil was the all-time leading scorer.
Oh,
last
she
year.
is.
And it's
She
like
is.
12 or 1,300 points.
It is.
You know, I don't, because I didn't.
I doubt it. I think the only one on the floor that might have that opportunity right now is the one with the ball in her hands right
God.
now.
She's.
And she's shooting a three just to try to catch up. I still ignore that one. Paul's kill hustle threw it off the back of the backboard. I don't think. I mean, this is game number 17. If they play their full schedule, that's what, 5 more?
7 more.
It is 7-4. They're playing a full
24 games for the
and
varsity.
then you got a few playoff games, and if she, it ain't happening. It's not happening.
No, she potentially she could play 13 more
Another
games.
turnover. Yeah.
Oh, and a foul by KDO, her fourth. Oh, her third.
And this is getting point. I mean, we've got a 19-point lead, and this could start to turn to let's just empty the bench. And you might see some subs from Germantown. They got to play. I know you don't want to think about tomorrow night, but you got to think about tomorrow night too.
That's a big game too.
Yes, it is. Skip pass. Acker. Bang! And now they want a full one because they're going to make sure the numbers are official. There it is. There's the announcement.
That's pretty cool.
So we'll have to check with Coach Stuve. It's a number a couple weeks ago. He had reached out to us and said that Jay was getting close.
And we've
How
been
many
tracking.
3-pointers does she have tonight?
4.
All right.
And we came in thinking she needed 12.
We were told she needed 12. Hold on. So we came into the night being told that she needed 12.
She's got 15.
She's got 15. But maybe Coach Stuve, he just wanted to make sure his numbers matching up. Whatever. They took that timeout for Jay. She's only the 4th player in Germantown history.
It's a great accomplishment.
It is a huge accomplishment. Congratulations, Jay. You've earned it. It's a program accomplishment as well.
It is.
So we're back, and the lead is 22. And it has been Germantown all second half. Shot, no good.
Terrific.
Pompu.
Tim with a foul.
DS is just trying to do anything to try to get that ball back as the shots aren't falling. This is what we saw from Germantown. And this, I think, goes back to our point of how good this Germantown team is and something they cannot lose sight of They struggled shooting like DS is tonight, and yet they were down 3 with just over a minute left. DS is down 22.
Well, and this says a lot about Germantown. I mean,
Sure does.
there's teams that could have
Jay.
folded this game.
Off the mark.
Lost on Tuesday, lost again today because this isn't a trap game, but this is kind of a trap game.
No, because after the loss,
I agree with that.
You're not going. You're not looking at it that way.
Right.
Into the hoop, finish. Emily Capper. Boy, oh boy, did DS need that. That is their first bucket in ages.
Yep.
It might be close to 8 minutes. It's been a long time.
And you got to give Germantown the credit for that.
Sure do. Free throw. Off.
LB.
Look at that. 4 players on the floor fighting for it. It's going to stay right here, I think. Nope. Yeah, shows what I know. So, again, congratulations, Jalen Acker. 1,000 points. 4th player in Germantown history. And to give you an idea of the type of – it's high, only 4 players have done it in history. Whiz kid, shot fake, to the hoop, finish. And you did some research, and you found that at this point now, KK Arnold is over 800 points.
Correct.
Incredible. That is that is not only – I mean, she's a sophomore. Right. This is an amazing number from an amazing player. And you, again, so fortunate, you and some guy named Coach Jeff Orzella.
Who's watching the game.
who got the honor of coaching Enrique Agumbawale. And she's a 2,000-point scorer. Steel Acker.
And KK is going to be a 2,000-point scorer.
It sure feels like it, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, she's only going to get better. And think about that as a coach. She's only going to get better.
Coach Stuve wants a 30-second. We may see a emptying of the bench. I don't know. Who knows what we'll see. But
it's getting close.
We could take a deep breath at least, huh?
Yeah.
We needed a blowout. We've been having such fantastic games.
And I'm not surprised by this. I hate to say that.
No, these two teams, when they play here, and go back to that first game, it was in the old gym, so it's a little – and let's throw the credit DS way. They have played every single game on the road. They have not had a single practice in their gym. That changes
tomorrow.
And
I'm happy
finally,
for them.
They, Marquette, all those schools that have had to suffer like that, finally get to have their practices and some home games. Thankfully, and right now, if you're Germantown, you're like, well, thank God it wasn't a week earlier.
Right, exactly.
Or a week later, I guess.
And talking to some of the coaches from Divine Savior Holy Angels, they're practicing at Mequon.
They've been out to Mequon at
Waukesha.
St. James, Mequon.
Yeah.
They've been in Waukesha.
Center Court.
All over. And it's 6
in the
a.m.
morning. Yeah.
I mean, they have really suffered. But KK, no good. But they have handled it, no surprise, as incredibly well as you possibly could. I mean, they have done a fantastic job. Never at any point has Coach Hendricks or any of the coaches, and we talked to them because you were on this staff for many years, have they mentioned it. Paul's kill, drive, kick, right down the lane. Acker, no good.
Well, and there's a life lesson in that. I mean,
Absolutely.
there truly is.
Sure. Shot, no good. Wisner going to get the call. Whiz kid's going to go shoot some free throws. Well, at least get one.
Not yet.
No, that's the 7th. Yeah. Stick around. I can count to 7. I got 2 hands, and I didn't even have to take my shoes off. But thank you so much to all of you that are joining us tonight and every night that you join us on W7. We greatly appreciate it. And if you are so inclined, just a quick email to the WIAA and ask them to stagger the regional and sectional finals games so that everybody gets a chance to watch and enjoy those games. What they did with volleyball, it was unfair to those players. And listen, they did it kind of last minute, and all those games were played at the same time. And give these kids a chance. Give these kids the opportunity to watch each other, see who they're going to play. All right, if we win, we play this team, or we won earlier today, this is who we get. We'll all watch that game tonight. And we're not saying it for us, because unless somebody steps up and pays the money, we're not going to be able to live stream the games.
Right.
Now, in all 3 years we've been around, someone has, and we're not out here asking for it. Tim, all the way to the hoop, and if you're Leah Hess, you either got to hammer her or let her go. She chose the middle, and right now, in the way it's gone for DS tonight, it rolls off. But if you're so inclined, reach out to them. Give everybody the chance. We want to watch those games. We all appreciate those games. And we want to watch these kids play. We want to be there and get that opportunity. We hopefully are able to live stream them. Last year, I've been so fortunate to do the last 2 sectional finals. I was scheduled to live stream, no pictures, strictly audio. DS's run last year at state, so we all lost that. I lost that opportunity. I mean, that's offensive. Ooh, and boy, KK had that push. So I mean, we did it because for the girls, of course, but we did it for all of them because we so want to bring these games to you. Reach out to the WIA and give them that. Hey, just consider it, please, for everybody's sake. I'm off my soapbox. Gary asked us to start, to discuss that, and we're going to continue to discuss that because we want to get the word out there. I don't think anybody's thinking about that. And Gary, credit to him, he's thinking down the line for all of us.
Well, and it's an excellent thing for like how many grandparents or aunts and uncles
out of staters.
Out of state.
3. Good.
Capper.
The cap. Yeah, that's the biggest point, is those that can't get to these games, and because they're limiting the attendance, that's got to be the number one reason why you want to stay to those games.
Well, and my question is, now that an AD has told me that WIA has sent information out looking for schools to host the Division State Championships.
Yeah.
How can it be?
Unable to go to. They're not anticipating being able to go to Green Bay.
Correct. So I would hope that they would let live streaming go, because
that's a great point, and that's another thing. Reach out to, and folks, we're not begging for anything. It's just something that we want to bring these games to you, and if they stagger them, I know last year we did, or I don't know if it was last year, it was 2 years ago. We were able to bring 2 different games of teams going to state. It is fantastic. Gary quick sprints to Brookfield East, goes live just to bring you an ending of a game.
Well,
3 on the way, 2 in a row? No.
Last year, Gary ended up at our sectional final
Yes,
game.
he did.
And he had the game that was played at the same time, Paul's Kill. Again, it's not about us, it's about the girls. And I just don't know what WIA is going to do.
That's a great point. Not going to Green Bay, they can't dictate that, so we might be able to carry all these games. We can tell you this much. If they let us, we're following GTV to the end. That's a promise. A semi-promise. I shouldn't promise without the boss being here.
Right.
Tough pass angle there from Kennedy, and she threw it away.
And I say in our case, Ed, this is a 17th game. We're going to see Germantown 24 games.
No, at least 25 because they'll playoffs.
Right, and I hope that we can go with them the whole year till they win it or lose it.
That's our plan, and you're right. And because it looks setting it up, all those sections. That's what it looks like the way they're setting it up. That's going to be the end. So if you missed us earlier, we were talking about it, and we were talking about how they moved. First of all, they moved teams up. Paul's Kill to finish. They moved 29 teams up, so there's 87. Nat.
Nice job, Nat.
Way to measure it. That was headed right to the. I mean.
Oh yeah, I thought it was dead.
I thought it was good. And Nat's face was great.
It's too bad she had a mask on her face, because we'd have saw a great grin. Well, going back to the topic, I think that's.
Baseball
nice
pass, Acker, Paul's kill, drop.
Should have
Oh.
shot. But
Just being an unselfish teammate.
Yep.
That's right. So they broke them into 4 different sectionals at each level. So each level has 4 sectionals.
Correct.
Now, in the past, the sectional winner would go to state. State beating Green Bay. That doesn't appear to be the case this year. We don't know that. We don't know that to be the case yet, because if you take a winner from each, that's
the
only
4
teams, 5 levels, that's 20 teams. That's what it's been in the past. So I think they're trying to set it up to still have our games at Green Bay, but they may not.
Well, no, they, as I said, an AD has said that WIA has sent out a email requesting, like Germantown,
right?
Because they're big enough to handle a divisional state championship game. They're not. I don't think they have any intention of playing at Green Bay at all.
Yes. So, but we don't know if that's going to be take all these Division I teams and narrow it down to 1, or are they going to say these 4 and that's it? We don't know, because remember last year they just pulled the cord and they don't know. They have to. I think they're waiting to see, with all whether it's the health organizations, primarily the health organization. Good hustle, put Claire Curry. So I think they want to see what the health-wise where everybody's at before they make final decisions. No matter what that final decision. 3 on the way short from Gabby Cox. Up ahead. Capper finishing. Our message is reach out to the WIAA. Let them know many different things. Namely, nice play. Ashley Jones to the hoop. But hustle back, Paige Robinson. Let the WIAA know to stagger the games, to allow live stream options, not just NFHS, but other opportunities like us, so that they don't have. Why should you, who's already being stuck, not able to watch it? You're not able to go to the games. Why should you have to pay to watch those games?
Well, exactly.
When there are opportunities like us to have these games presented to you from us for you.
Agreed. I mean, it's again, the theme of this is it's for the girls.
And it's always going to be that way, and we're going to continue to preach it that way.
So why wouldn't you want, as all the way, since it's not going to be in Green Bay this year, why wouldn't you have, because the rumor is they're going to play 2 games in the morning and a game that night for the state championship. So the 4 sectional winners are going to play
each other
2 games, and then the winners are going to play that night.
Okay. All right. So there you go. That's a rumor. There's nothing. Nothing to that yet.
I've heard it from a real reliable source.
Sure.
But that's it. And again,
they must have just sent a surge. We hope you're still with us. There was a surge that went through. It looks like we froze for a minute, but I think we're back. We're going to keep going. If you missed our speech, we're sorry.
Yes.
And you're lucky.
but we'll be on tomorrow, so we could end up giving it the same speech.
Truth of the matter is, we're going to keep talking about this
until it's.
And you wait till Gary gets going on it tomorrow night, because you can count on it. And tomorrow night, again, reminder, right back here from Germantown, as the Warhawks will host New Berlin Eisenhower.
That's going to be another battle.
Another
war.
Yep. Division II second-ranked team
against the Division I number 1 team.
Yeah.
Until they're taken out
of
that
Tuesday, and probably dropped to number 2. Maybe I would imagine 2 with BC number 1. It's whatever. They don't mean anything in the end. You just want you want to hold the gold ball anyway.
My own feeling is I think Germantown's still going to be number 1.
After it depends on what tonight.
Well,
and tomorrow.
Depends
on tomorrow.
If they win tomorrow, they'll be number 1.
They should be. Yes, they should be.
Because I'm not 100% sure on what I'm going to say, but I think Kimberly got beat again. Since they were number 2, I think somebody beat them this week.
Yes, I thought Nina did. Correct.
Yes. So.
Great pass.
So the 1 and 2 teams in state got beat.
Yeah. Come on. We're frozen again, and it's back. Okay. We're just going to keep going. We're not going to discuss the frozen issues. We're just going to let it go.
Yes.
Those that know. See what I did there, folks? Whether the screen's frozen or not. And we should talk about DS, and they're in flight 4.
They got a chance.
They call, the sectional 4. They are with Brook Central, Brook East. So there's your 2 from the conference, in addition to Brook East and Wauwatosa West. So, I mean, Wauwatosa East West, Brook East, Brook Central, and DS. So it's going to be a fun battle there. And, on their side, schools of note.
Matt just took a timeout.
Schools of note, Greenfield and Oak Creek, in addition to Franklin and South Milwaukee. Union Grove, maybe? I don't know.
Well, Union Grove's number 4 in Division II.
Yeah, so they're pretty doggone good, too. It's
and we
with Social Central's no back live on GTV with our player of the game, Jalen Acker. You took the deep breath. I was waiting for you to exhale.
No.
That's why I went quiet. I wanted to hear the. Are we better now?
Uh-huh.
Are we good? Right before we went on, I just told you the greatest players in the world go through this. Just happened to be your time.
Mm-hmm.
How's it feel to finally start? I mean, let's face it. You hit 5 tonight. You hadn't hit one in the year 2021 yet, and you hit 5. You came out, and this is a big game. You needed this.
Mm-hmm.
The second half, you're only up 1, and all of a sudden you got hot and you took over. How's that feel?
Honestly, just about time. It is a relief.
What was going through your mind?
I could see your reflection.
They
I could see your reflection the whole time.
There it is. 1,000 points. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's hold off on that. What was going through your mind, these 3 games where you're struggling shooting, and you're a shooter. You know you can hit these shots. You've done it up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, what were you doing? You're going home after games. Are you fighting yourself? Are you sitting in class thinking about it? I mean, give us the mindset of Jalen Acker the last couple weeks.
Honestly, you got to kind of forget the last game and kind of move on, because I used to beat myself up like nonstop about it, and then it just wouldn't get any better. So I just kind of forgot the last game, moved on, and then my confidence got up there, and then things are kind of working out now. So.
I think if we looked it up, I think they'd call that maturity or something like that. Don't grow up, as your parents would come out, don't grow up too fast. Enjoy this, because, yeah. All right, now let's get to the 1,000 points. It takes a long time to do that, unless you're like KK, who's over 800 already.
Yeah.
Silly. But talk about that, and talk about what that's like when you look back as a freshman and in your sophomore year, and you were on these great teams as a sophomore in last year. What's that like, 1,000 points? I mean, it's not going to sink in right away, but what's that feeling like right now?
Well, I've always been surrounded by some of the best players in the state, so it's kind of hard to, it's hard for me to just become, like, a scorer. I have to more do, like, the other things and kind of whatever. But this year, I definitely have more of a role in the team. But you could just kind of, I never really thought about points the whole year, or the whole, my last 3 years. I know I couldn't focus for a second. Yeah, so I just didn't really think about points until, I got brought up that I was, close.
Yeah.
And then you start going for it, but
then
you just kind of forget
you think about it, too. It's like, oh, why did they tell me?
Yeah.
But you know what? You did it. Now you can move on from that. You can take that deep sigh. Now you're tied for first, so now you need a little help. You just stomped on DS. Now you need to be their best friends, because you need them to come out and beat BC on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go tomorrow night, you play an Eisenhower team. Very good team. Okay, now let's look ahead. Not just tomorrow night, the rest of the season. Obviously, we want to win them all, but where is this team? After Tuesday night, this is how you want to come back. You come back and stomp a really good team.
Yeah, we just use Tuesday as motivation. Honestly, it's just it kind of was nice, or it's not a good thing that we lost,
right,
but it kind of helped us all out. It kind of calmed the nerves a little bit.
Yeah.
And then now we can go out there and play a million times harder, because now we know that we're not, I don't know. But
you can throw them up. Go ahead. We're with Jalen Acker, our GTV W7 player of the game. Jay, congratulations on 1,000. Keep rolling. We're not done. Because the end, we want that gold ball. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, you want to get to the conference. Keep playing hard. Have fun. Get back with your teammates. Go celebrate. We'll get to do this again tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Jalen Acker, our GTV W7 Player of the Game. Congratulations,